Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're here for Mindset Monday. I am here with my co-host Dave. Dave, what's happening, brother?
Jonathan, what's good, buddy? How are you, man?
Hey, great weekend. Traveled a lot. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Very, very challenging to close out a month that way. Uh, got to come home late Friday night. Worked some of the weekend. Got to spend some time with kids. All good, brother. All good.
Awesome.
Um, One of the things I think this is really important to talk about. I think where people mess up execution is in the details of the execution. All right. It doesn't matter how good the plan is, it matters how simple the plan is. Okay. Where most people fail, and I've noticed this with projects that I've worked on with my team, the simplest, okay, when you are doing this, the absolute easiest and best way to make sure that the plan gets executed on is to make it as simple as possible. Okay, think about all the great influencers, all the great teachers, all the great companies. They take complex, really, really complex situations, designs, or plans and make them incredibly simple. Okay, same thing with concepts. The simpler what it is you're trying to execute on, the higher the chance that you're actually going to be able to pull it off, that you're actually going to be able to execute on it. And a lot of times when things are not simple, okay, that's when you have mass chaos. That's when you have mass confusion. That's when people are just not getting it done. All right. So think about what that actually means. Go through, if you are having trouble, you don't have a training program, you need to start and you need to get one. Okay. If your training program, if it doesn't seem like it's working or people are coming in and they still aren't able to function or operate the way you need them to, then there's one of two things going on. It's either the training is not good or the person is not getting it. Okay. But if you know that you've had, let's say, 10 or 20 hires go through that same training and that training worked, well, then you can pinpoint, okay, well, maybe this guy isn't a fit or maybe he's in the wrong seat. All right. These are things that you don't think about. You just act. And then you wonder why things might not be going smooth or why people aren't in a position to win, right? How simple are you making your processes? How simple is your training? Okay. How simple is the plan that your team has to carry out and execute on? All right. The simpler it is, the higher the chance you're going to be able to execute. Dave, what do you got on this?
Yeah, man. I have five critical elements that kind of you can either use within your business or yourself. But the main thing to when you're executing something, whatever that plan is, you got to be all in. You got to commit to it 100%. Right. A lot of times, if something isn't happening, it's the gratification world that we live in today. But if something's not happening right away, or if for whatever reason it's just looking like it's not working because you haven't done it long enough, then you start getting a little squirrely, you start going in other directions, then you're just spinning a wheel. Right. You got to stay focused. You got to stay committed to that plan of action. Right. And the next biggest thing is it's communicate. You got to have communication across the board. You got to speak what's going on, whether that's your team or if it's something you're doing for yourself within your household to your family, right? Very important to have communication across the board, to have all hands on deck, to understand what's going on when something's going right, but also as importantly to understand what's going on when something's going wrong, right? So that's equally as important. Measurable results. Everything in that execution plan you have to measure, right? Take notes, put down. Just like we talk about baseball, I love to compare everything to baseball because why baseball? Well, you get paid a lot of money for a low percentage rate, right? So that big number shift for hitting 30% of your at bats, right? Well, those are measurable details. You've got to have those listed out. And a standard. What's the standard? If you operate on a standard, on a pile of core values coming in, do not deviate on there. Everybody follows that same plan. And the last thing that all this ties together is duplication. If I can't do it, nobody else can do it. If I can do it, somebody else can do it. If there's a shift on there and it needs to be done, and if it makes sense, it has to be implemented across the board, right? And another reason for duplication, if there is a problem, you could go back to see where that problem lies as long as you're all following the same plan. So those are my 5.
Dude, I love it. That was solid, man.
Thank you.
With that, that's a mic drop. We're going to end it there. We'll catch you on Financial Fitness Friday. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. All right? Yeah, I dare you to drop that thing.
No, absolutely.
Right on your nutsack.